What's going on? Jeremy here from Unsleeved Media. Finally getting back in the swing of things after being out of town for a little while and going through some surgeries with my dog, who's doing well. Some leaks out of a recent Magic the Gathering distributor meeting. Bad news for distributors, bad news for online sellers, and bad news for local game stores. However, good news for Wizards of the Coast. So this is just a potential, this is a leak. Obviously, I've had two sources. I got one source tell me this about 2 weeks ago, and then I had another one come forward on Friday with a very similar story. So I decided I would cover it. Now, this is, again, speculation. The first leak goes, I don't really like you, comma. Why does everyone, you know what? I would be willing to bet 75 to 80% of people that leak me stuff, like people that have been leaking me stuff on how terrible Matt Tabak is and stories about Elaine Chase, always seem to start their email with, well, I don't really like you. You know what? I'm not here for people to like me, so that's okay. But it's interesting that I'm the only one that people can trust. I'm the only one that will report on this stuff. So I'll take that. That to me is a huge win. So it's okay to not like me. And there's a lot of people I don't care for too. Anyway, I don't really like you, but I know you still care enough about FLGS around the country to realize that WotC selling MTG direct to Amazon could be a serious problem. Yes, selling direct to Amazon. Now, let me explain a couple of ways that this might work. I'm uniquely qualified to do so because I have clients. I've been selling on Amazon for almost 5 years and manage probably about $10 million in sales a year there. So I've been through it. I know how the Amazon system works. What could they be talking about? Well, selling direct to Amazon would mean that you have a wholesale account. There are a couple ways you can set this up. Amazon would be a wholesaler, purchase your product, and just about everything would be available on Amazon, and it would be available via Prime. You can also list as your own seller using Amazon FBA, where you would ship your inventory in, sell it. Amazon takes, so if you're an FBA seller, Amazon takes 15% off the top, roughly. Plus a flat fulfillment rate for shipping and packing and stuff like that. For Magic stuff would probably be about $5. If they're a wholesaler, that just means they'll buy large amounts of product at wholesale price. So they might get booster boxes for $40, $50, $60 and list it at whatever price they see fit. Another thing people don't notice about Amazon is if you were to go look for a Dominaria booster box right now, you'll see one listing, okay? But you'll also see multiple sellers underneath that. You have to dig. What you're seeing is called the buy box, meaning I want a Dominaria booster box. Whoever is the default listing there is who gets the sale. That is calculated in a variety of ways, not just price, but also lifetime feedback as a seller, maybe your listing health, things like that. So you can win the buy box and not be the cheapest price. But the main takeaway is the buy box generally gets, in my experience, 90 to 95% of the sales. The only reason people will click and see if it's available from other sellers, in my experience, is if the one who has the buy box doesn't offer free Prime shipping. My prediction is that Wizards of the Coast would be using Amazon as in a wholesale account. Amazon buyer would buy millions of dollars of product from them a year. It would be available months. It would be in the Amazon warehouses months ahead of time and be available for sale at 12/01 when the new set launches. In my experience, Amazon has always been really good at protecting street dates, stuff like that. Why would Amazon do this? Or Wizards of the Coast, I'm sorry. Because it's way more profitable. They make a one-time sale of, let's say, a couple of truckloads of product, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and that's it. They get paid up front. Amazon assumes all the risk. This is a huge win for Wizards of the Coast. It's the same decision I would probably make if I were in that position at Wizards of the Coast. However, I would do it slightly differently. How this screws over local game stores is generally when you're a seller on Amazon, if Amazon has the product, you're unlikely to get many sales. If you run sponsored listings and you do some paid search ads on Amazon, you might be able to sneak a few in. But margins on booster boxes are so low that let's say you're selling the booster box for $100. Amazon takes 15%. So now you're down to 85. Plus they take $5 to ship it. So now you're down to 80. Plus you also pay a small percent to keep your inventory in warehouse. So you're really not making much. We might be making $1 or $2 if you have the buy box at Amazon per box. It's not really worth it for a lot of people outside of maybe a place like Sports and More or something like that that doesn't appear to care about profit margin, just appears to care about moving units. Now, if you're a local game store, though, and there will always be pockets of weakness. Amazon will run out, and then all of a sudden you'll see your sales spike. Amazon will choose not to carry something. Maybe they're not going to carry the Jace's Spellbook because that's only going to be available at local game stores, and Wizards actually has the stones to restrict that, which we know now there's very little chance of. So now we have the potential of LGS exclusive items showing up on Amazon. Why wouldn't you? You're already actively hurting the local game store by giving them trash exclusives. And then when you actually have something people might buy, you make it an exclusive on the Hasbro Toy Shop website, as opposed to giving people a reason to go into their local game store. So as the system exists now, there is competition. I'm pretty sure Amazon does buy some items there. Wizards of the Coast could also be their own prime seller if they wanted to be, which is probably what I would do as opposed to wholesaling. But wholesaling is nice because you get one big check and you're just done with it. And they'll also commit to buying months in advance. What you'll see now is the few local game stores who were scratching out a living on Amazon, that's over with. Because Amazon's just always going to have the stuff in stock, and they're always going to have the best price because they're going to buy booster boxes for $40 or $50 is my guess. Wizards of the Coast is not going to give Amazon the same price they give to distributors. It'd probably be even less. So Amazon will be buying boxes for $30, $40, $50. And that will be the new fulfillment source for many people. Look, I can get the box for the same price as my LGS, maybe even cheaper because they don't have the same kind of overhead. And, well, Amazon has gigantic overhead, but incrementally it doesn't. I'll just buy from Amazon. Oh, look, they have Jace's Spellbooks too. Oh, I'll get that too. Oh, they have Commander Anthology. Oh, okay, I'll get that too. Oh, they have the standard decks. I'll get that too. Oh, they have Planeswalker decks? Okay, forget it. And slowly, the number I hear is about 3,000 FLGS across the country. That number is shrinking every month, okay? That has been a trend that's been going on for years. I get emails all the time about local game stores just abandoning it after years of not making any money or making very little money. And I understand that it's not Wizards of the Coast's responsibility to supplement local game stores. But in this particular case, I think if it were me, I have no problem with them wholesaling to Amazon, booster boxes, fat packs. Fine. No problem with it whatsoever. But what you have to do if you're going to do that is invest more time into exclusive products that you can get only at a local game store. Booster boxes and fat packs make very little money at local game stores, okay? If they would have released, for example, this Guilds of Ravnica Stupid Edition at local game stores, or if they would have not completely abandoned from the vault with terrible product after terrible product. If they had fixed the foiling in From the Vault, that product might have still been something people seeked out. If they had given local game stores good promos, this is something that would help them. So if you're going to wholesale to Amazon, you must put extra effort into giving local game stores better products. Why? Because your game dies without them. I'm very convinced that Wizards of the Coast just thinks they're going to transition everybody out of the local game store into MTG Arena, which, God bless their little hearts, not going to happen. People who have been playing Paper Magic for 20 years are not going to switch. People that have been playing Paper Magic for 5 years are extremely unlikely to switch, because part of what makes Magic the Gathering so popular is the human interaction. It's the EDH groups. It's the Friday Night Magic event. You cannot replicate these things online, especially when the software you put out has no way to chat or interact with the other person. It feels like you're just playing AI the whole time. So when Amazon becomes a wholesaler for Magic the Gathering products, and of course they will, of course this leak is true, in my opinion, it will be just another dagger to the heart of local game stores. And, you know, I said it last year that this year was going to be extraordinarily rough on local game stores, and I didn't even see this coming. This is going to be bad for them, because what it will do is, once somebody just orders the latest booster box and Amazon gets it to their house on the day of release, they're not going to go and order from their local GameStop or game store anymore. And then when pre-release comes around and attendance continues to plummet, and when Grand Prix attendance continues to plummet, Wizards of the Coast has one of two decisions to make. And I feel like they've already made that decision. One, let Paper Magic continue to die and invest in digital. Or two, do something to save it. Their recent decisions, the recent trajectory that Wizards of the Coast is on, to me, appears that they've already made up their mind.